This is my fifth time trying to record this, by the way. I just I recorded one earlier this week, and it was just shitty. It just sucked. It just wasn't entertaining. Low energy, low vibes, just bad. Um, and then I recorded another one the next day after that, and I just completely botched the audio and the exposure on the camera. So it was just that one was pretty good actually, like the recording and everything I talked about, but I just couldn't upload it. It was just too bad. I could not save the audio. It was just poop. And then I tried to record another one, even after that, and I was just too hungry and tired and like out of it to do it. Here I am. And then I also did try again right before this, and just kept losing my train of thought, and it sucked. And I'm just a tired, sad sack. Also, I've had a fucking horrible last 2 days. Something's just wrong in my world right now. Just had some just bad news happen. I guess I can kind of talk about it. There's no grievances, right? Like I don't have any grievances to unload here, but oh god, I guess I'll just spill the beans about something here. Is that after audio 2, which I guess before I even get started, thanks everybody listening. I think it's almost at 50 million streams, which is insane. I really never thought that would happen ever. So yeah, thank you. And then so after audio 2, I had a B-side on my New Moon EP that had, four I'm going to call them ambient moments because they're not really ambient songs. I think people use ambient as like a catch-all for music without drums, right? And I don't think that's entirely true. So I kind of like to call these things like ambient moments, right? Because they're not full long ambient songs. They're like a minute long, and they're just little snapshots of feeling and emotion. So there's the 4 on the B-sides EP, and then, while that was happening, 2 years ago now at this point, I finished an entire album's worth of these little audio moments. And I've been wanting to release them. And basically, they've changed hands a few times. They've gotten locked up in negotiations, and it just hasn't happened. And the other day, like, working out something with that crumbled, and another thing I was working on behind the scenes with my manager just kind of crumbled for one reason or another. And I'm just in a rough spot because the reason I haven't released that much this year since Eon Lens is because I've been waiting to make space for this ambient album, which has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. So hopefully that comes out soon. I'll post about it if it ever happens. But so yeah, just kind of going through a rough one right now. Just kind of got kicked in the balls pretty hardcore by the music industry, and it's just depressing and disheartening. But fuck it, we ball, I guess, right? Why not? So I guess I kind of wanted to talk about audio 2, actually. Maybe we could just segue to that, and like maybe this can be like the end all be all lore destination for it. So I'll just start from where it came from. I was on TikTok in, what was it, 2022? 2020, yeah, had to have been late 2022. And this was around the time when like core and niche talk, these core edits were big. And I find it's kind of like an indictment of how online I am. But every time I explain this to people like in person, half the people don't even know what core is. And like, I guess I would explain it as like kind of a weird Dada-esque like mishmash of like memes and moments from TV that are all kind of stitched together, um, that evoke feelings of like melancholy or like lost futures. What's the word by Mark Fisher? Hauntology. Just like it's very like Corecore is very much like a manifestation of like an evil form of nostalgia. Like how we look back on things not because like we necessarily miss these times, but we miss the promise of a future that doesn't exist right now and that will never exist. Like we're all just kind of, in this doom and gloom of a nothing good will ever happen again kind of deal. So Corecore edits, and these are kind of like absurd ways of exploring that feeling, I think. With like, contemporary memes and movie clips and quotes. And some of them are stupid. Like some of the core stuff was like really stupid and misogynistic and like red pilly, but there was a flip side to it that was like really interesting and funny and sad in a way that was like earnest and authentic and not problematic. And so I was like, I want to make one of these. This seems fun. So I was one of those guys who would save TikToks because they would get deleted. Like, we've all been here when you're scrolling on TikTok and then all of a sudden it's like Tammy Sue from Oklahoma filming a video of herself on her Samsung 3 from 2012 having like some psychotic break about like gang stalkers and 5G goblins like making her eyes itch. And like so when these get posted or something like it, that's not the only example. I was just making a joke there, but like um I save a lot of TikToks that I think might get deleted or that are just like funny in general because I just want to have them and I don't want to go and scroll back through like my like in the app. I'd rather just go to my Photos app and find it because it's easier. And so I had a bunch of these like funny videos and then I also had some, nice like just picturesque videos I'd taken on my phone. And then of course I had my girlfriend send me a bunch and actually a lot of the good ones in that core video I made were from my girlfriend. So thank you. So yeah, I just made like a shitty kind of like half-baked core edit. And I was like, I'm just going to make my own song for it because why wouldn't I, So I sat down and I had it was a sample on my computer, but it was like a resample on my computer. So I had sampled some shit from ages ago. I had chopped it, resampled it, and then it was just sitting in like a recorded files folder. And I took that and then I chopped it up again. But I just did like the over and over again. And the whole thing took me maybe 15 minutes to make. It is just like this weird chopped sample, a reverb voice, like a monophonic sliding reverb voice, and then the little fill arp. And that's it. Then I uploaded it with this half-baked core edit, and it just, by sheer luck, just blew up, and people took an interest in it. But the way it went was, it had like an initial, like, yeah, like, oh, people are coming like, this is sick. What is this? Like, we got a blah, blah, blah. This is amazing. And then it kind of leveled off. And then at the beginning of 2023, so this was like 2 months later, it just went like astronomical. It went balls to the wall moon style up there. And I just basically hit up my manager and I was like, we have to distribute this thing now to like all platforms. Like now, like yesterday, actually, like 2 months ago, even. And so we did it, and it ended up just kind of, going off. And that's really, it was just luck. It was sheer luck. Some people asked me how I made that happen. I didn't do anything. Like I just right place, right time. It just caught a little bit of fire, and that's that. But I think it's funny because it's one of those things where people will say like it's just ironic that the thing that I spent the least amount of time on ever in my career, as far as like music goes, was the thing that has changed my career and my life the most. Like, I haven't spent, I think, 10 minutes making a song ever. And that was the one that has just completely blown everything else out of the water. So there is a lesson there. And there's always people screaming about like perfection is the enemy of good, and these platitudes about, you know, the not just don't worry about like all this extra stuff like the mixing. Nobody really cares about the mixing. Nobody really, really honestly cares about like the arrangement and blah, blah, blah. It's like obviously some people do, like there's nuance to that. But I was always a person who was like, fuck that. Like, I want to get into nitty gritty. I want like the details. I want to make it sound like as close to perfect as I can. And like, if this blowing up isn't like the ultimate lesson in like, you don't need to do that ever, then I don't know what is. So, I mean, take from that what you will, is yeah, spend 10 minutes on a song and just put it on TikTok and see what people think. And then if it blows up, distribute it. Look, there's your 2025 marketing plan. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome, dude. Um, no, but here's the funny part is like, you try to chase that up and you try to follow it up with an album. It just doesn't work out. Dude, damn, the Audio 2 arc is full of ironies, isn't it? Just full of bullshit. It's a curse, man. This whole thing's a curse. It's a curse that I'm thankful for. It's a curse that I appreciate. And it's a curse that I bear happily. So that's Audio 2 for you. And I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who's asking for the sample, but I wish I could tell you if I had to ponder a guess. It's probably some loop. Like it started as some loop from some pack or some stack of multiple things together that I distorted and rearranged and affected and then resampled, and then I picked that out again. And like it's so lost to time and computers, and I think, man, hey, look, there's another lesson there. Save all of your recordings, because that was probably from 10 years ago now. That original thing must have been from like 8 to 10 years ago I made it. I feel like the recorded folder I picked that from was from a resample folder from my very first laptop I ever had. So it has to be at least 10 years or 8 years old. So save all your shit, record everything, save everything. You never know when you're going to need it. I should probably go do that. With all the dead projects I have, I can make 5 sample packs. But yeah, that's Audio 2, guys. And hopefully there's more audio moments coming soon. We'll see. Oh gosh, what else is there to talk about? Eddington was sick. Eddington's a sick movie, dude. Eddington rocks. It's like Beau is Afraid, but like it feels like he figured out how to make the Beau is Afraid kind of flavors work better in the world of Eddington. And also for all the people online saying that Eddington is a centrist movie and Ari Aster's a coward, you're wrong and you're telling on yourself. You're the annoying white liberals that they're making fun of in the movie. Do you understand this? Like, do you get it? I don't know. It just seems crazy to me that anybody would watch that movie and say, "Oh yeah, this is a centrist, cowardly movie," and acting like they posture like these two opposing viewpoints as equals. They're not. Like, that's just, people just don't know how to watch movies, man. I watch movies so fucking good. I'm so good at watching movies. I'll end that there. But oh shit, dude, it's hot. Yeah. God, I wanted to talk about a dub techno. I fucking love dub techno. It was an interesting phenomenon I've talked about. I grew up in Denver, and John Digweed used to do like late night radio shows for like hours of him mixing, and it was mostly dub techno and house. And when I was younger, I just hated it. I was like, this is the most boring, like baby style music I've ever heard. It didn't have any detail, any nuance. And then it's funny because like I'm older now. The last time I heard really listened to the John Digweed mixes, I think I had to have been like 19. Now that I'm 28, I get dub techno, and I get like the minimal, like the meditations, like of the delayed loops and the simple chords and the ever evolving space. These things, it's beautiful music, and I think it's underrated as hell now, which is strange. And I feel like maybe it is an age thing. I really do feel like dub techno is like the adult, is like an adult genre. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very like, it has a clear history. I think it requires a lot of context to really like and understand, and it requires the listener, I think, going through a lot of journeys through various genres to really land on it and appreciate it. At least that's what it was like for me. And I've been going back and listening to all the Basic Channel stuff, which is just incredible, absolutely timeless. Like the stuff that Basic Channel was making in the 90s was so cool, dude. Like so cool. Like this is a tangent to jump off of this, but I've had this conversation with their producers about how like I haven't really been that inspired by a lot of contemporary electronic music, and I find myself revisiting past music. Specifically for me, you know, the dub techno stuff, obviously, like a lot of stuff from the 90s, but then also like a lot of Fortet stuff from the early and mid 2010s is just really good and really interesting. I think much more interesting than a lot of the stuff we get now. And I think it's because people weren't thinking about it as much. And maybe it's because that was also pre like splice, honestly, and pre like good loops being accessible. I think sampling, I keep talking about sampling, but I think sampling and finding samples was much more challenging, or finding good samples was much more challenging before splice. That's obvious. That's just like a thing. But I think that also kind of served music as a whole better. It made everything much less homogenous because you had to really uh pound samples into submission to get them to sound good, like depending on what it was and what you were going for. And I think that lends itself to the genre. Like I get annoyed when I see and this is throwing no shade because I do like the song, but like 10 by Fred again, it's kind of annoying that it's just some splice loops, like we could do more, we could do better. And it's a good song. It doesn't mean the music's bad, not at all. It's good, but it's just we could do better. I think people do better, but I don't know. Old man yelling at clouds moment here. But this is what this is for. This is for me to complain and be a sassy queen. My camera, my show. Yeah. I guess I don't really know what else to talk about, so I'm just gonna whip out this thing. Check this thing out. It's a pocket fart machine, and we're just gonna go through. We're gonna go through and listen to all these sounds. Okay. So this is the green fart. All right. This is the light blue fart, the cyan fart. Oh, yeah. Okay, classic. This is the white fart. Oh, yeah. We love that. Okay, this is the yellow fart. A call and response. All right. Sick. Like that one. All right, this is the blue fart. That one's gross. That one's disgusting. Ew. Okay, orange fart. That one's just immature. That one's just silly. Oh, come on. It's just a balloon. What the fuck? So, I didn't break you. No, you're good. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at on time, guys? Let's check it out. 20 minutes? I had 10 minutes. I can talk about something for 10 minutes. I think I would really, really like to have cooler clothes, I think. And I would like to have more swag. And I would like to smell good. And I would like to I would love to get rid of my asthma. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I always thought I could get rid of my asthma. I just work it out. There's this myth about Teddy Roosevelt where he just like worked out so hard that he got rid of his asthma. I don't think that's true though. It's like there's no way that's true, right? It just doesn't seem like something that's real. Like if you're telling me I could hike enough to get rid of my asthma. I'm sure like, yeah, you increase your lung capacity. It probably doesn't affect you as much, but I don't think you can ever get rid of it, right? Right? Who knows? Oh gosh. Do you have any funny stories from when I was a kid? I guess this is kind of a stupid funny story. I made a zombie movie with my friend Mitch when I was a kid, and we made this whole movie, and it was really bad. You know, it's par for the course. Kids making a zombie movie, but we showed his mom everything we had so far, and we had the character. I don't remember any of the character except for the one character. We wanted to add a grizzled and like badass like army character, like an old army guy, like an old sergeant, like a retired sergeant who's like, I've seen stuff even before the zombies, kid type character. And we named him Colonel Sanders. Because we didn't know that Colonel Sanders was the KFC guy. So we made a zombie movie and we were yelling. There was one part in particular I remember where Colonel Sanders dies and we had like airsoft guns and he had his airsoft gun and then he dies and then there's a panning shot to me going, Colonel Sanders, no! Colonel Sanders, no! No, Colonel Sanders! Then our friend's like pretending to be a zombie and eating Colonel Sanders, which is a chicken's revenge. Fried chicken's revenge, right? Revenge of the Fried Chicken. It's a funny memory. I should start thinking about funny stories I have and retelling them here. Truth is, it's just like my memory's shot. As soon as I turn that camera on, I don't remember a fucking thing. I'm just too nervous about it. That's why, you know, we'll practice. We'll get better. That's why I want to have guests on here too, so I can bounce off of somebody else. You know, I think I'm much better at talking to other people than I am talking straight at a camera. I don't have that much to say, in all honesty. All right, well, I mean, at this point, I don't really want it to drag on, so we'll just end it at 25 minutes. But thanks again. This has been 909 Dinner 2. Thanks for listening, and sorry for the delay this week due to technical difficulties. Shouldn't happen again, but thanks again, and later.